Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Holistic Mystic Show. My name is Boston Summer, and I am here to help you embrace your intuitive side so that you can fulfill your Dharma with passion and skill. I specifically love to work with healers who are here to really make a business out of their soul calling and do what they love to do, get paid to do it, and really just, leave a legacy in our community for future generations. I'm all about future generation healing and making the world better than when we got here. So, this week on the Holistic Mystic Show, we're going to be talking about the power of your voice, more specifically, the power of your unapologetic voice. So, let me know in the comments, where are you at with speaking and sharing um, things that are on your heart with anyone and everyone that crosses your path? Do you hesitate? Let me know if you can resonate with, being really confident with certain kinds of people, but then in other groups of people, you kind of shy away from being your true self, and really being a stand for, sharing your gifts with them if they're calling you to be in service. I know specifically in my story, my business, specifically before I started a business, I was really comfortable with talking about essential oils, the emotional properties that the oils had to really lift and shift, and help you process emotional trauma, our past, emotional burdens, a lot, especially generational burdens, right? And I was really comfortable with sharing those things that was side of me, my kind of spiritual woo woo side of me with specific people. But then when I would get in the room with other people, I really felt like I kind of started to feel myself shrink. I started to feel myself like filter my words. And I started to notice this two different kind of versions of myself. And it really wasn't until I got a lot of help with unpacking my past, dealing with my trauma as a child, and getting business mentorship that was with someone who was comfortable with being vulnerable. This specific business mentor, she is a shamana and she also works in the field of the spirit. And so she was really able to help me see the correlation between like the person I was being in my business and the person I was being like outside in the world. And it's really important to start to identify these pieces of yourself because the more we can tap into the unadulterated, the unfiltered version of ourselves, the more that we're going to be able to call in and magnetize the soulmate clients that are really here to do the work that you have to offer, right? So if we're filtering, if we are, trying to fit into a mold or a box or a version of ourselves that isn't encompassing and embracing all of who we are, then it's hard to attract the clients that want what we have to offer, right? When we might be bringing people into our field and into our community and into our lives that might identify a little bit what they have to offer, but then when you talk about this or this, they go running away, right? And so the more we can be transparent about who we are, this directly impacts our business, right? And we want, in our let me back a little bit. In our society, we have been, kind of like presenting really blended or diluted versions of ourselves, right? We might be able to be comfortable with sharing this part of ourselves, right? Like I just mentioned, but when we behind closed doors, it's hard for us to bring that person out into the open. And so this, first of all, we have to really, you know, be comfortable with looking at these shadow pieces around this kind of work, right? Why are you afraid to step up and show up and be who you are around those certain kinds of people, right? Like, what are you afraid of? Are you afraid of being judged? Are you afraid of being seen as not perfect or someone different than who they thought you were? Right. And so we want to first look at these layers or this shadow work around trying to be someone that we're not. And then we can, once we identify and become aware of who we don't want to be, then we can really start to get creative and excited about who we do want to be and start to get playful and explore and be curious about who it is we want to be. And when we start to develop that, we start to figure out who that is, then it's going to be really easy to magnify be magnetic to and attract those certain people that do want those kinds of layers, right? They maybe your specific thing is all about womb work, right? Like you love being sexual and you love being sensual and you love wearing red and maybe you've kind of like held that version of yourself back. But when you give yourself permission to let that person come online and take the wheel, if you will, of your life, then you start to just naturally attract these other people who are interested in that kind of thing. And when you're working with these different archetypes of womb work and the divine feminine and being unapologetic about who you are, you're going to attract those people that also want those things. So let me know in the comments if this is landing for you. The more that we allow ourselves to really give ourselves permission to be who we want to be, then we're going to be calling in the right people. When we call in the right people, then we don't have to talk someone into working with you, right? We don't have to like have this big, huge, long conversation about um trying to tell them all the benefits of working with you, right? Like they just want to be in your field. They just want to be around you and maybe they don't even know why. And then when they work with you, they start to uncover exactly why. Like I have lots of people who work with me just because I was either in a dream of theirs or they just like heard of me and they love my energy. And it's like it speaks volumes to all of the personal work that I had to do to get to this point, right? Because I was that person who was two different people in two different rooms, right? Like I would be my spiritual woo-woo self in one area, and then I would go to church and hang out with my church group friends, and I would shove that part of me down. And ultimately that caused a lot of inner turmoil and having to kind of like contort and be someone I wasn't. And that didn't allow me to be with the right kinds of people. Right. Does that make sense to you? And so when we get to be who we want to be, we get permission, give ourselves permission to allow that person to kind of take the forefront and you get curious and playful about who you want to be. You call in the right people and you're hanging out with the right community and your soulmate clients will just start popping up and you're like out of nowhere it seems like and all you had to do was just be you, right? Like that's why I love the you business strategy that I work with and that I implement in my business because it allows me to a be who I want to be all of who I want to be, but b allows me to not be perfect and give myself permission to continuously change and evolve and grow who I want to be. And so, if this is speaking to you and you want to dive deeper into tapping into your authentic self and unleashing and activating your inner power through sharing your voice, through expressing who you are with your clothes, with your words, with your time and energy and who you hang out with, right? Then I'm going to be sharing with you a opportunity, an invitation for you to join me at the end of this month of it's February right now. At the end of this month, I have a workshop called the Speak Up Workshop. And it is a 2-day interactive workshop for healers and coaches to liberate their authentic voice and help have the support to allow that version of you to come online. And when that version of you comes online, then you can confidently share your sacred work with the world because you're not hiding from those versions of you or those parts of you, right? You're giving yourself full permission to be seen in all of your individuality, all of your uniqueness, all of what makes you you. And from that place, we soulmate clients just pop up left and right. And we're really allowing ourselves to receive not only money for signing new clients, but allow ourselves to receive the abundance of being and working with clients that really get it, that want to show up and do the work, right? People who are excited about doing the work. And ultimately, that is a huge form of abundance that I feel like we don't necessarily look at when it comes to business and abundance and wealth, right? Like, just because someone is in your DMs does not mean you have to work with them. Are they soulmate clients? Are they in alignment with your values and your morals? And do they respect you? And when you're in the right kinds of environments and around the right kind of people, and you are sharing with them who you are unapologetically, then life gets to be better. The quality of life improves. You sign clients, they want to work with you for a long time. And it's just a beautiful way of living and having a business in that way. And I've been really lucky to be able to have that. And of course, it wasn't easy. And as I mentioned at the beginning, I had to do the inner work to get to that part. And so, if you want to do the inner work, you would like to be held and supported in doing that deep work, then join our workshop. It's free. I will be recording it and then selling it on my website. So if you're interested, drop a green heart emoji. I'll give you the link and then you'll be able to register for that event. And hopefully you can make it live. If you can't make it live, there will be a replay. And then after that, I probably have it up for like 7 days and then I'll take it down and then sell it on my website. So definitely get registered for that if you're interested. That way you can receive that resource and get one step closer to sharing your light with the world. So thank you guys for watching this week's Holistic Mystic Show. Once again, my name is Boston Summer. Let me know what your key takeaways were from this show today in the comments, and I will see you guys next time on the Holistic Mystic Show. Until then, have a beautiful day. Go out there and share your light with the world, and namaste.